Okay, it's me again. So, today I'm going to point out all of the problems that you discover after you strip forms and realize that you're a knucklehead. But first I'll just point out some of the things that went well. All the forms are stripped and you can really get a good sense of how the concrete looks now. It's turning into a relatively nice open space. We've put down the plates to receive the rear wall. You really can see how crooked this wall in the back is, but that's just not anything I could have really done anything about. That just is what it is. And to straighten that wall would mean straightening the whole house. And because this thing is so twisted, all of the walls have become concave. If you were to take a box, like a cardboard box, and sort of hold the bottom and top and twist it in a double helix kind of way, what you end up doing is making concave edges on the top and bottom, and that's exactly what we have. But that being said, things are coming along. We've put the bottom inside course of the forms for the stem wall in, and the reason we've put the inside course in is it just lets us know what we have to work with, and then we can tie the rebar, finish the inside, and then build the outside. If you were to build all the forms before putting the rebar in, then you're really in trouble because you can't get to anything. So those forms go all the way around. That gives you that idea. Okay, now here, this is interesting. Here's a problem that we knew about the whole time. We finally completely, well, not completely, but we took most of the stucco off of this crazy distended wall. This is the one that had the 10-inch gap between the stucco and the framing. And you can see that is where the left side of the house separated from the right side of the house. Oh man, I've never seen anything quite so crazy in the world of construction. We're going to fix that. And it's not quite as gnarly to fix it as I thought it might be. Okay, so coming around to this side, we've also ripped out the entire two sides of the garage. I didn't want to do that before the pour just because it was so unstable, so as it is. But now that we have concrete in there, we felt secure in basically removing all the framing. Now, one thing that's gross is that this left side of the garage severely leans to the right. You kind of can't see it, but trust me, it leans. And this has sort of the convex wall that you may be able to see, concave wall, depending on which side, concave into the building. So no matter what we do, you can't really make it plumb, given the curve. And this wall we decided to straighten out. I'm going to fur it on the outside and make it straight, and that's just the way it's going to be. And it's going to lean on the inside, and it's going to look straight on the outside. That's life. So here's one of the worst mistakes I've ever made in all of 14 years of doing this. And that is this plate above, right here. Well, that's a new plate. There used to be an old plate there. And I set the sill plate, the bottom plate, which you can't see very well because of the shadow, I set this thing dead plumb underneath it. But there was so much stuff in the way that I couldn't really get it to be dead plumb. So what I have right now is a post that's more or less plumb on this side. But over here, after we stripped the form, I came to realize that the form that I placed, note I'm not blaming anyone else, the form that I placed to make the concrete stop right here needed to be 2 inches over here. That was a horrific error that caused me to have that feeling you have in first grade where you want to cry. So I had that hyperventilating, about to throw up, crying feeling for about 20 minutes until I then realized that all I really need to do is rip out the old plate and put this new one in. And here's the ironic thing. This is a combination of the worst mistake I've made and the luckiest situation I've ever encountered. By accidentally placing that plate 2 inches off, it actually squared up the garage. And believe it or not, my error resulted in a situation that's better than what I would have had I not made the error. How's that work? So, another problem is this concrete just in the area of the field of vision here is, for some reason, that was the last load. That was the 1.5 yards I was short. We wheelbarrowed that in, and for some reason it's not getting hard. Or, well, let's just say it's not as hard as the rest of the concrete. So there might be a materials issue right there. And I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that over a period of 2 or 3 weeks it's going to lock up and get harder. But I can dig into it with a nail and get about I could get about a 1/2 inch into it in about 2 seconds of digging. All right. What else do I have to say? Not much. We have more issues, but we'll address them later. Considering this is a 7-minute video, I think you've had enough. Byron's working on a flashing thing. Oh, we got that on video. Crack in the head. That's why you need your hard hat. Okay, that's it.